Hey, Jake Gandolfo here up in Santa Cruz, California, coming at you in my kitchen today. We're gonna fire up something kind of sexy, kind of romantic. We're gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to perfectly sear a piece of filet mignon. And then we're gonna pair that with an amazing Pinot chocolate reduction. Loving it. Now this reduction that we're gonna make would pair really well with venison. I've cooked it with elk. I've cooked it with antelope. I've cooked it with a few different types of venison. I've used this sauce. You could also pair it with buffalo. It'd be a good pair there. Any really lean red meat, this chocolate Pinot reduction is going to work fabulously. So we've got everything lined out that we need for what we're about to do for our filet and for our sauce. This technique is referred to as mise en place in the classic French sort of preparation, sort of everything in its place. So for all you bakers out there, this is especially important. You want to get everything laid out. Read through your baker's recipe, doing all your math and all your scientific equations and all your chemistry and all that bullshit. Get everything lined out. That's mise en place. So you don't have to go digging around, thrashing through your cabinets and counters looking for your gear as you're cooking. So we've got our shallots. We've got our chicken stock, our red wine, our thyme, our bits of 60% bittersweet chocolate, and our butter. Everything's ready to go. So as I need it to make this sauce, I can grab my ingredients and push forward. So let's do it. Let's get this sauce started. I'm firing up my pan. We've got a small saucepan. I'm going to bring that up to medium-high heat, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to bring that up till it starts to shimmer and kind of glides across the pan. Anytime you're heating up olive oil, you only want to take it to medium-high heat, and you're looking for that nice shimmer. You'll see it start to slide across the pan. You know you're up to temperature, okay? Always want to start with a hot pan. Okay, while that oil is coming up, I want to talk about this filet for a minute. And any red meat for that matter, or any meat really, any protein, generally speaking, in the world of cooking. We always bring our product out and let it rest for a minute till it comes up to room temperature, right? So when you're getting ready to start cooking, bring the meat out and let it sit so it comes up to room temperature. The reason we do this is so that we get even heat dispersion throughout the meat. If we've got cold center on the meat and we're warm around the edges, we're gonna get a good sear on the outside but never cook through and through, at least not evenly, so that's not what we're looking for. So before we do anything, we're getting ready, we're getting mise en place, we're getting our mise on. We bring our meat out and let it come up to room temperature for a good 10-15 minutes before we get started. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have a way better product, okay? So we've got a nice shimmer in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to throw our shallots in, and we just want to sweat this shallot out. Hear that nice little sizzle coming off the pan as the shallots go in. So we're just going to sweat this, and what I mean by sweating is, you hear this term a lot, I'm sure, is just pulling some of the moisture out. We don't want to get any color on the shallot or onion, if we're using onion, or garlic for that matter. We're just kind of trying to sweat some of the steam out, some of the moisture off the product without actually getting any brown caramelization going. Good, loving it. Rocking out the half cup of chicken stock. Now that's gonna work in the pan for a couple minutes. We're running it medium-high heat, and what we wanna do is reduce that stock down. That's gonna intensify the flavor of the stock. So we've got a couple tablespoons of shallot, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and our chicken stock working. That's going to reduce by half. In the meantime, let's get our skillet fired up and bring that up to its piping hot. Now, when it comes to searing red meat, some folks, they'll put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. Some folks don't. I'm one of the folks that don't. I like to put my meat like directly into the skillet to get us the best sear we can get. So we're going to let this come up to temp as our sauce is reducing. In the meantime, I can go ahead and season my filet. We're going to season both sides. So what I'm trying to do here today with this segment is sort of take out some of the mystique of making a classic French sauce. I mean, basically, we could take this sauce that we're making here and apply it to about 40 other different sauces just by changing 1 or 2 ingredients along the way. So what I want to do is show you that with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients, we can make an amazing classic French sauce that's going to pair greatly with this lovely filet mignon. Okay? So a little technique that I picked up from Kat Cora somewhere along the way was when you're searing some meat in a pan, and it can be any protein, is just to push an edge into the pan to see if the pan's ready. Do you see that sizzle? Do you see how it's stuck? We're ready to go. That's a good indicator that we're happening. All right, that sizzle, that's what we're looking for. We're gonna let this brown. When it's ready, this pan will release the meat. It'll say, okay, we've got a good sear on here, and the pan will let go of the meat, and that's when it's time to flip, okay? We've reduced our chicken stock by half. I'm ready to add my Pinot. That's going down. That's about a half cup of Pinot Noir. I'm going to, at the same time, throw in my thyme. I just bunch it up. Take a little bit of butcher's twine if you got it. You can throw the whole stock and all right in there, and we'll just pluck it out later. So that's down. I'm going to season this with a little bit of salt, a little bit of fresh ground black pepper, and we're going to let that work until that reduces by half again. All right, so it's been about 2 minutes in the pan. I think this filet is ready to flip. Let's see what we got. Yeah, see how it's just broke free from the pan? No problem. So it's good to go. Yeah, we got an amazing sear on that. Look at that. It looks beautiful. It's good. We're happening. All right, so I think that our filet is ready to go. It smells delicious. There's nothing like the smell of searing flesh, my friends. So again, we're gonna take this. We've got it about 2 minutes on each side. We've got a great sear. We're gonna drop it into a preheated 350 oven for about 4 or 5 minutes. Pull it out. It's gonna be red, medium red. Let that rest for a couple minutes and we'll be ready to rock. All right. So that's in doing its thing. Our sauce is looking fabulous. I'm gonna reach in, pull the thyme out, and we're gonna add our chocolate and start letting this kind of slow down a little bit. We're gonna turn the heat down, sort of slow the process down. We've got a good reduction going. I'm liking the viscosity that I'm seeing, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Again, we reduced our chicken stock by half, then added our red wine and reduced that again by half. So right now we should be at a half cup of liquid in the bottom of our pan. Adding some chocolate and stirring that in. That's going to do a couple things for us. Obviously, it's going to give us this nice richness. It's also going to help to thicken the sauce. You can see the color already changing in the bottom of the pan. That's coming along nicely. Okay, so we've got our chocolate incorporated. It smells delicious. I'm gonna give a little taste and see where we're at because we need to taste when we're cooking to keep our seasoning right. We're looking for a nice balanced dish. Tastes delicious. Now, the surprise kicker with this sauce is vinegar. We're gonna add just a skosh of apple cider vinegar, and that's really gonna brighten the sauce up. And we don't need much. We're talking like a tablespoon max. And that is really gonna adjust and balance the sauce out and give it that little pickup, that little bit of kick that it needs. We've added our vinegar. Now we've got about a tablespoon of butter. We're gonna stir that in. As we mount the sauce, Monte Beurre is the classic French term. Mounting a sauce is finishing the sauce with butter. Does a couple things for us. Again, it gives us a nice richness. It gives us a nice shimmer. It also keeps that film from forming off the top of sauces that you'll see sometimes with gravies or different sauces if they're sitting around. So it really enriches the sauce, and yeah, it's a good thing. Mounting the sauce with about a tablespoon of butter. That sauce looks delicious. We'll give that another little taste. That is done, my friends. Very good. I'm gonna pull the meat. My spider senses are tingling. They're telling me that the meat is done. It's been down for about 5 minutes at 350. I'm gonna pull it. Looks delicious. We're gonna let that rest for about 5 minutes. The reason we let the meat rest is for all the juices throughout the protein to reacclimate and sort of redisperse. Right now, things are going wild in there. It's just a party. There's juices jumping around in every direction. If we cut into it right now, all the juice would just end up on our cutting board instead of in our mouths. So after we're done cooking, we like to let our meat sit and rest for a good 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the size of it, a little longer if we've got roasts, and sort of let it just sort of chill out and come back down and relax. Guys, I'm telling you, this is a great one right here. This would make for just an amazing romantic dinner for you and your lady. Simple to bust this sauce out with this amazing pan-seared filet mignon, and throw some charred asparagus on the side, maybe a nice rustic mash, and you are in business. And ladies, that goes for you too. Take care of your man. Okay, so let's plate, shall we? We've got our lovely filet that we're gonna throw down right on top of this amazing chocolate reduction. That is just sexy. I don't care who you are. Finish that with a couple of sprigs of thyme. And voila. There you have it, folks. That is a perfectly pan-seared filet mignon over a lovely chocolate Pinot reduction. So it looks great, smells great. I'm sensing that it is probably great. Let's give it a taste and see what we got. It just looks and smells delicious. My friends, that is amazing. Please, I implore you, cook this recipe at home in your kitchen and you will have amazing results. That is just out of the park. Awesome, great. Thank you so much. I've been Jake and you've been great.